Hi everyone. Can you believe it? We've made it to the end of the course. For this week, the last week of the course, all you have to complete is the final exam. The final exam will consist of 50 multiple choice questions, be worth 150 points, and you'll have 100 minutes to complete it, which is roughly about 2 minutes per question. Now, you're going to see a multitude of questions, but really focus on some of the tips I give you and some of the questions I go over with you in this review. So let's get started. The analysis is externally valid if what occurs. Including another variable in the regression will cause what with omitted variables. Simultaneous causality bias causes what? Errors in variables bias causes what? A statistically analysis is internally valid if what occurs about inferences. Panel data estimation can be used to do what? What is another word for panel data? Time fixed effect regressions are useful in dealing with what? The before and after specification, binary variable specification, and entity demanded specification produce identical OLS estimators. What is that interpreted, the intercept interpreted as? The fixed effect regression model. What is that understanding, or what is that dealing with when looking at the intercepts? The difference between unbalanced and a balanced panel is what? Threats to an internally validity leads to what? The question of reliability, unreliability of a multiple regression depends on what? A possible solution to errors in variables bias deals with what? The main advantage of using panel data over cross-sectional data is it helps us what with regards to observation? Simultaneous causality leads to what with regard to the correlation and the regressor? Sample section bias occurs when what happens? If you included both time and entity fixed effects in the regression model, which includes a constant, then what is excluded and what is included? Another question looks at a random, sorry about that, my itches, a random controlled experiment. What is a forecast? An autoregression is a regression of what? Departures from stationarity jeopardizes what? Time series variables fail to be stationary when what occurs? Autoregressive distributive lag models include what? What is a program evaluation? What is a heterogeneous population? A repeated cross-sectional data set is what? A potential outcome is what? With panel data, the causal effect is what? Experimental data is often referred to as what? What is not a threat to an internally validity of a randomized controlled experiment? What is the Hawthorne effect? A sharp regression discontinuity design deals with what? Threats to internal validity of a quasi-experiments include what? There's three main things. Stationarity means what about the probability distribution? The AIC is a statistic that is used to help with regard to what when you look at researchers. The BIC is a statistic that focuses on what? The random walk model is an example of what type of model? What is the Dickey-Fuller test? The first difference of the logarithm of y to the t equals what? The time series regression with multiple predictors is what? One reason for computing the logarithms or changes in logarithms, or economic time series is what? The Granger causality test is what? One of the sources of errors in the RMSFE is what when you look at coefficients? A negative autocorrelation is the change of a variable implies what? The formula for AIC and BIC are different. What is the main difference? Problems caused by stochastic trends include all the following except what? And what is the t-statistic in the augmented Dickey-Fuller model? Now, when you start the test, make sure to note that you only get one attempt, so be very careful when you start it that you're ready to take it, because you won't get another attempt at it. And I look forward to your work, and I appreciate all your help that you've done through the course and all your efforts. I wish you the best.